Hold on a second. Just points to help you build your business. So the first one is candid and intimate moments will always be better than prefabricated promotional shots. And what I mean by that is posting real pictures of your life and yourself, of the candid and intimate moments in your life. Those are going to give you more feedback, more likes, more followers, more comments than any prefabricated promotional shot will. Something that I think is a prefabricated promotional shot might be like a picture of like something like this. This looks really prefabricated, like somebody photoshopped it to make it. I want to see something that's like somebody's real life. So maybe like a real before and after picture or something that you could show to relate to. Just ignore my crazy hair. Think of this. I always think of this picture that Alyssa Billiou has of her and her daughter, where she's holding her daughter, and all you see is her hair, and her daughter is holding on to her hair. And she says something about how she loves the little moments like that. I think of that as a cute, candid, intimate picture, and that's something that people love to see. And instead of just like a boring join my team picture, she posts something like that. So whenever you're posting, keep that in mind, that you want to have candid, intimate moments in your profile. That doesn't mean that you post intimate moments like, you know what I mean? Just keep it personal, but keep it good. The next thing I learned is you need to limit the number of hashtags that you use. Most bloggers do not use more than 5 hashtags on an Instagram post. So 1 to 5 per post maximum. And they talked about if you're not using hashtags, you are missing out on a big market, because a lot of people can find your posts through hashtags. And I am a firm believer in that, because anytime I post pictures of my dogs, Aston and Mozzie, I always try to use like a German Shepherd puppy hashtag or German Shepherd or something like that. And I have several friends and now distributors that also have German Shepherds. So it makes it fun because I have something relatable. And yes, you have to be public to use hashtags. And Laird Lightner is not always the #1 distributor. It changes every single month, just so you know. And obviously it might work differently for other people, but I feel like a lot of hashtags just looks like you're trying to spam people and just get likes and comments on your pictures. I personally do not use a lot of hashtags, and most of my likes come from my followers. So I definitely think you can over hashtag, and I wouldn't use more than 5 maximum. However, sometimes I will go back and on old pictures, I'll use a few hashtags. Sometimes I'll go back and I'll use a few hashtags on old pictures to get more interaction on those pictures. There's no right or wrong hashtags to use. You want it to be something that relates to you and something that relates to your photo. So, I mean, I'm going to post a picture of my dogs and put a hashtag German Shepherds or something. It's going to be something that relates to your picture. It's not just going to be something random. So don't just hashtag twin mom, because I wouldn't do that unless I had 2 twins, you know. And then the next thing I learned, and I know this is not what John Eric teaches, but this is just every once in a while, and I'll explain it. Every so often, share a picture from your Instagram account, one of your best pictures, onto your Facebook through Instagram, and then change the caption and just say, hey, follow me on Instagram. I'd love to be friends with you, or whatever. so that all of your Facebook friends can see that and they can add you on Instagram. That's a way to instantly gain followers. And then maybe somebody that's never really talked to you about the business is going to start seeing more of your posts that way. This is a really, really, really big one, this next one. The main way that you can build up your Instagram followers, the amount of people that like your pictures, the way that you can build up people that sign up as customers or distributors is by interacting and connecting with people on Instagram. This is what John Eric preaches. This is what I preach. It's what Alyssa preaches. This is what Jade preaches. It's about reaching out to people. It's about forming relationships. So I know you've heard this quote, you get what you give comes back. This is where it applies. When you like and comment on people's pictures, they are going to like and comment on your pictures. But think about it this way too. If you're being thoughtful and you're maybe commenting on someone's picture and leaving a nice compliment, their followers are going to see that comment and they're probably going to go to your profile and follow you just because you were nice and thoughtful. So it's a really good way to get followers just from being thoughtful. And another way that this is also important is anytime somebody follows or anytime somebody comments on your pictures on Instagram, always make sure you respond, even if you just say something like thank you or an emoticon or something. Make sure that you respond, because if you don't, somebody's going to think that you're maybe ignoring them. Somebody might think that you're not very thoughtful or that you're not nice, and then they might unfollow you. So make sure that you are being thoughtful and you're liking and commenting. And always remember that liking is good, but commenting is even better. Think about yourself. Would you rather have somebody like one of your pictures or comment on one of your pictures? I would probably rather have somebody comment on one of my pictures, so I'm going to make sure that I do that more. Okay, and I don't know how true this one is, but I have learned through reading some blog posts and articles, once I said what I said before, is that Sunday and Mondays, you want to make sure that you're posting a little bit more than you normally do throughout the week and the weekend, because on Sunday and Monday, that's when you're going to get the maximum engagement on Instagram. There's an Instagram account that I follow. Let me see if I can pull it up really fast. This part's going to blow your mind, because when I heard this, I thought it was crazy. Okay, so this Instagram, you don't need to like follow this or anything. It's kind of crazy, and you can't even see it. I need to turn my brightness down. That should make it easier. Okay, so this Instagram, it's called Freshly Picked. She has over 500,000 followers on Instagram, and she was interviewed, and she said that the way she got over 200,000 followers was she would spend a few hours every single night, and this is hours, it's a lot of time, but 200,000 followers is a lot of people. She would spend hours going through people's Instagrams and liking 5 to 10 of their pictures, and then she'd go find somebody else and like 5 to 10 of their pictures. And she said, you want to find people that you can relate to. So maybe I might find somebody that also has German Shepherds. Maybe you'll find somebody that also has like an autistic daughter or something that you can relate to. It's being thoughtful. I mean, liking a picture, it's like giving a high five, just like John Eric teaches. It's not creepy. So that's all she did to increase her followers from 0 to 200,000. That's so many followers. All she did was like 5 to 10 pictures on each person's profile, and she was able to increase her followers as long as it took, I guess. I don't know. Keep doing it because it works. And yeah, after she was on Shark Tank, it went clear up to 500,000. But anyways, the next part is so important. Yeah, just to clarify, all she did was like pictures. She didn't also comment. So think of how crazy it could be if you were liking pictures and commenting on at least one per one per person. Okay, this next note is very important, and it's probably the most important thing I'm going to say tonight. With your Instagram account, you want to pick a theme. You want all of your pictures to look alike, and you want them to all fit a theme that you have for your profile. So this is something you're going to have to take a lot of time to figure out for yourself. But what you want to do is you want to ask yourself, when somebody goes to my Instagram profile, what are the first few things I want them to associate with me because of my Instagram? So maybe for you, this might be pets. It might be friendship, fun, freedom. Those are good ones, right? Food, family, success. Maybe one of the first things that you want them to think of is a bright, positive, uplifting, colorful, religious, love, full of love. Think of what you want people to see when they look at your Instagram account and write it down. And then part 2 of that is when you're on Instagram, I'll be talking about public and private in a second too. So when you are on Instagram, hold on, I gotta change my brightness again. I changed it. I highly suggest you just go to this Explore post page. So you would just click on the search bar and go to your Explore posts and just kind of scroll through and like see what catches your eye a little bit. Find something that catches your eye, something that you think is really pretty, something that you wish you could post on your Instagram. So maybe for me, I'm gonna say like a picture like this. I think that's really pretty, and I would want something like that on my Instagram. What you're gonna do is you're gonna do this maybe with like 10 to 20 pictures, and then you're gonna screenshot it. I'm not gonna screenshot it, but you're gonna screenshot it, and you're gonna go through and just find 10 to 20 pictures or more that you really like. See what pictures pop out at you, and then take screenshots of those favorite pictures that you have. And then you're gonna put them all together in an album, just on your phone. You're not gonna post these. You're gonna put them together in an album, and then you're gonna look and see if they have a common look. Are they all colorful? Do they all have muted tones? Are they all super crisp and really high quality? Do they all have lots of background space? Things like that. And if you can kind of figure out what these pictures all have in common, then you can figure out what your theme for your Instagram account should be. And so, like I know for mine, one thing that I love is shots like that, especially with like the bokeh in the back with the blurs. And I love that she's on one of the sides. She's not right in the middle. So those are things that I'm going to pay attention to. So like kind of like this picture that I posted, my husband and I are on the side. You want to think of those things. You have to have more than just Jason with your team, and I'll explain that in a second too. But hopefully that helps with your theme. You want all of your pictures to be around the same theme. You don't want to have all of these super light and pretty airy pictures that have pink in them, and then all of a sudden have this big black picture that says join my team. It's going to stick out and it's not going to look very good. And these are just tips that are going to help your Instagram look more aesthetically pleasing. And then one of the other tips that I learned, and this is a really good tip, and make sure you do it the right way because I've seen it go bad, is you want to geotag your photos. So anytime you take a picture, geotag it to something that's maybe near you or some place that has something to do with the picture. So maybe you, for example, posted a really pretty picture in Italy saying that you're opening up spots on your team in Italy. You can geotag that picture somewhere in Italy so that people that are at that location can also see your picture. And as an example, I did that on our Hawaii trip. I was constantly geotagging our hotel, and I was literally having people that were also staying at the hotel start following me. So it's a really good way to increase followers just by geotagging, because then you can also go to those pictures and like and comment on those pictures. and say like, oh, hey, I just vacationed there a few weeks ago. You're going to love it, or just whatever. So the way that you geotag, I'll pretend like I'm posting a picture really quick. Hold on. I haven't pick-tap-goed in, but I guess I'll give you guys a preview of what I'm going to do. That's a good one. So this is a picture. Once again, I have to like edit this first. But this is a picture that I took today with our dogs. We were playing with them. So I'm going to like crop it and make it pretty to post it. Ignore the filters. So right when you're going to click to follow it, see this add location right here? You'll click on that, and then you can search on what's nearby you. So I can pick something that's nearby me, or I can click find a location. So normally what I do, just if I'm like at my house, I don't want to geolocate my house because not everybody's going to show up there. You don't want people to know where you live. So I'm really vague, and I'll probably just geolocate St. George, Utah, my hometown, because it's big. There's lots of people here. So then what happens, let me go back to an old picture now that has that, is anytime your picture is geolocated to an area, it's going to pop up in the newsfeed. Oops, that's the dog park. I don't want the dog park. I want like St. George. Here we go. Sorry, I'm taking forever, guys. Sorry. So as an example, this one's from 21 weeks ago. I posted a picture of me that's geolocated to St. George. So then I could click on that St. George button at the top, and I'll show you that. You can click on it, and this is what everybody in Instagram can do. They'll click on it, and then it shows you the very top posts of everybody that's geolocated St. George, and then it also shows you the most recent. So I can sit and like and comment on these people's pictures, and they're all from my hometown. So it's a really good way to connect with people that you might not know. And especially like if you're traveling or going somewhere, you can find people that are local to you. It's awesome. And then, okay, these are some statistics that I learned that I thought were really interesting. So hopefully they all make sense to you. On a high lightness picture versus a dark picture on Instagram, the lighter picture is going to generate 24% more likes than a dark picture. The next statistic, a high amount of background space generates 29% more likes than those with minimal space. So if you're super zoomed in, rather than having like it like this, if you're super zoomed in versus like having like a background, the one with a background is more likely to have more likes than the one that's closer up. In terms of lighting, like if your photo is well lit, it's going to have more likes on that picture, but if it's darker, then it's not going to have as many likes. Next, this one's interesting too. I didn't know this one. Images featuring blue as a dominant color generate 24% more likes than a picture that dominantly has red. So I always think of like a picture of a pretty sky or like the ocean or something. I feel like those get a lot of likes versus, I don't know. I don't know what red stuff there is. Because, yeah, I mean a little bit of red, but dominantly red. Close-up selfies are fine, but it's just, these are just statistics. I mean, you can go outside of the box on some cases, but I don't know about green. Blood. Yeah, nobody wants to see blood. And this is like blue is the very dominant color. So like, I'll show you this as an example. Like my screens, my lock screen on my phone or on my computer, obviously the main color is blue. And there's a little bit of white and green and then like little picture. So that's like mainly blue. But then say you had another picture of something else that was mostly red. That's what I mean. Typically blue pictures do better than red, supposedly. Then another statistic is that a single dominant color generates 17% more likes than images with multiple dominant colors. So, yeah, you could take that how it is. So if it has one big dominant color that you can tell there's just one main color, it's going to get more likes than one that has multiple dominant colors. This is really like random statistics, but if you use it to your advantage, then it'll work well. And then the last random statistic I have, and this one is so true. Images with texture generate 79% more likes than without texture. So, and texture can be anything. I mean, I just think of like, this is a dumb example, but it's the one I have. So tonight, my family, we made, yeah, like brick walls have texture, but like tonight, my family made caramel popcorn. So my mom took a picture. Well, she made me take it, but let's see if I can pull it up. She's so funny. She's like, well, she's always like trying to get me to make posts for her and like teach her how to do Instagram better. And so she's like, well, why don't you just edit and post my picture for me? So I did. But anyway, so my mom easily could have posted a picture of just the Fat Fighters by itself, but that doesn't have a lot of texture. So what we decided to do is we put a bottle of Fat Fighters in a bowl of caramel popcorn. And as you can see in the picture, there's so much more texture. You can like see the reflection on my phone, but I think you can get the point. So it gives texture. It's mostly predominantly light. And so that's what we mean by texture. Or think of like sequins. I think that's a good texture. I mean, anything is, if it's something that, you know what I mean, it's texture. Okay, and then editing photos. This is something that I didn't really notice makes a difference, but now that I think about it, it's huge. So when you edit your photos, you want to use the same filters every single time. You want your editing to be similar every single time. You want it to be uniform and look the same throughout all of your pictures. So that means don't use, what's the one? Don't use Valencia on one and then use Nashville or whatever else there is. You want to stick to one filter and just, or Juno, yeah. You want to stick to one filter and one filter only if you're going to use a filter, or no filters, or edit your pictures the same on Instagram every single time, just about. You want them to all look similar. You want to use the same recipe. So for me, I am a big advocate for Pick Tap Go. I can't zoom in, but Pick Tap Go is the yellow one. You can screenshot it. This is only available on iPhone. That's what it looks like. Pick Tap Go. Yeah, you want it all to be like uniform and the same. And I'll show you examples if I can afterwards too. So I use Pick Tap Go a lot, and I always edit my pictures just about the same way. I always try to brighten the colors, pop the contrast, make them a little sharper. You don't want to delete all of your photos. We'll talk about that too. Or another app that I found, and this one's available on Android. I just got it for my mom. I think it was $1. Let me search it. I don't have it on my phone because I don't need it, but it's on both. It's Afterlight. This is what it looks like in the App Store. This is also a good one. Once again, this is called Afterlight. Another one I just learned about. I don't know anything about it at all besides what the name is. Is this one called Visco. It stands for Visual Supply Company. I've heard that one's pretty good. Rana, I have that one. I don't use it, but I bought it, so I still have it on my phone. Or the other one that these bloggers were suggesting is called Snapseed. It looks like this. I don't know what Visco does. It's VSCO, but it's highly suggested. So yeah, there's that. I just use PicTapGo, or honestly, I'm really good at just using the basic features that are in Instagram. So like I'm more likely, I'll just use one of these selfies as an example, I guess. I don't really know if I'm gonna post any of them. So like this selfie that I took today, if I was gonna edit it in Instagram, instead of using a filter, I'm more likely to just go to the personalized section and change these. So you could do that too. Because Instagram does have some pretty good editing tools. All right, so that's editing. You want all of them to kind of look uniform and the same. Let me go to, I have some friends that I can show you their profile. So this is my friend Kristen. Almost all of her, she's not a distributor, don't bug her, she's my friend. But all of her pictures you'll see are like super uniform. They all kind of have the same coloring. So not any of them are like too orange or too yellow. They're just all the same looking. So that's what I mean by you want them to kind of all like edit and look the same. It's just better aesthetics for your page. Another example that I can give you is, let's see, let me go to the next one. Oh yeah, I love hers. Okay, so besides the one random blue picture, this is my friend Tori. Hers is a little bit lighter, a little more pastel colors, minus the big, huge blue bright picture, but it's a lot lighter, and you can see that there's a uniform editing style, and that's something that you should adapt with your own Instagram. I mean, we're not bloggers, but it just looks better, I promise. And then one thing you want to do is vary the composition of your photos. So what I mean by that is like your focal point of your photo. This is lots of photography things, and this is a good idea too. If you don't know how to take pictures with your phone, or like don't know how to edit pictures, there's so many tutorials that you can look up. Like there's YouTube videos of people that talk about how they edit their Instagram pictures. You can look it up and get so many ideas. So the composition of your photos, you want to vary it. So I can give you a really good example of what not to do, and then more of what to do. So this is one part of my Instagram that I hate, and I think it's so boring and I need to work on. Out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 pictures that you can see, 6 of them, half of them are like all the same picture, just a different shirt or a different smile. So obviously you can see there's tons of up close selfies where I'm generally on this side, and it's kind of boring. I mean, it's all the same thing over and over again. So you want to vary your composition of photos. You don't want to do that. So I need to go back and fix that, but we'll talk about that later too. So as a better example, this one's kind of fun too. When I say vary the composition, like this one, I'm on this side of the picture. This one, I'm on the other side of the picture. This one, we're on one side of the picture. I'm on the other side. This one's far away. This one, we're right in the middle. So some of them you might have lots of negative space, so that means you'll have a lot of background, and then have you guys smaller in the picture. So that's like the one where we were walking on the beach. Or maybe you're going to have a picture that completely fills the frame, like the popcorn. And then maybe you're going to follow the rule of thirds. Have you guys ever heard of the rule of thirds? This is one of the most basic photography rules, and it's going to be the most amazing thing you're ever going to learn. You're going to love it. Do you guys know what it is? No? Yes, I got a yes, that's good. Okay. Well, I'll use my whiteboard. Just kidding, I have written on it. I'll just erase it. This is a freaking long Periscope, oh well. But I learned a lot, so it's crazy. I don't even know how far away I need to be. Yeah, this is photography, but okay, hold on, I gotta get my Sharpie. Not my Sharpie, my marker. All right, so you have two photos. One of them's a portrait and one of them's gonna be a landscape. So the rule of thirds, basically what it means is you don't wanna put the center of attention in your picture directly in the middle. That's like a big no zone, because what happens is somebody that's looking at your picture, they're gonna look straight at the middle first, they're gonna see whatever they're gonna see, and then they're gonna scroll past your picture. So instead, what the rule of thirds is it's basically like you're drawing a grid on your pictures. And if you ever noticed, Instagram actually has this grid on your pictures when you're working on posting it. Has anyone ever noticed this grid when you're posting a picture? Have you noticed the grid before? All right, let me get different markers so I can reiterate my point. Isn't it crazy? I can use photography to teach you guys it works. It's great. This is right up my alley. So, once again, normally what happens is somebody looks at your picture where you post your fat fighters or whatever right in the middle, and then they move on to the next one. But if you focus on putting your picture on these cross points, these focal points, what's going to happen is maybe, let me cross this one too. It's turning my red black, but I'll get rid of it. Okay. Let me zoom out, or I guess scoot back. Okay, so that's basically what it's, why is it not focusing? Oh, there we go. So instead of putting your focal point of your picture right in the very middle, you want to try to stick it on those cross points on the grid. And what happens then is it's going to give you some negative space, or it might fill up the screen. So now that you've seen this, view my Instagram and kind of show you that I try to follow the rule of thirds. And then obviously remember that rules are broken all the time, and sometimes they're meant to be broken. So I don't think you always have to follow this, but it is a really good tip. So like this one, for example, rule of thirds, if I have that grid, my thumb is on one of those crosshairs. And what happens is the way my hand is, it leads your eye into it, and then you start looking at the money, and it leads you around the picture. It's more appealing to the eye, exactly. Or this one's a good one. So I'm on one of the thirds, and I'm looking this way, which brings you to this third, and then this line is kind of on the other one. So because of the way the lines work, it leads you all across the photo before it's not you look in the middle and then you scroll down. What's another good one? Or like this one with Mozzie. Mozzie's in one of the corners of the rule of thirds, and then like her feet are on one, and then her butt's on the other one. So it's all just a matter of following that rule of thirds. It'll make your pictures look a lot more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, here is another awesome tip. Don't switch between crops. You want all of your pictures to be cropped the same way. So what I mean by that is, let's see, where's a good section? There's way too many right here. Okay, here we go. So right here, you can see some of them I have my white around the pictures. Some of them it's smaller, some of them it's horizontal, and then some of them the picture takes up the full frame. What this means is that you want all of your crops to look exactly the same. You want them to all be identical. So I have started doing that, and I want you to take a look at my Instagram here and tell me if that looks better. Instead of having all that extra white space, does that look better? You're supposed to say yes. It's more aesthetically pleasing to have it all the same. And so whatever you decide to do is beautiful. Don't think that you have to do it one way. Like my friend Kristen, she has a white border around every one of her pictures and it's gorgeous. Or I saw an account the other day where every single one of their pictures had a border and it was so pretty. I'm trying to find another one, but a lot of people have it just plain big pictures. Hold that thought. We're getting there. So that's a small, simple thing that you can do that'll make your Instagram just look better. And I never really noticed, I never really noticed that big of a difference, but I kept looking at my Instagram thinking, why does my Instagram not look as pretty as somebody else's? Why does it not look as good? And then I realized that that's what it was. I had so many extra white space that once I finally got rid of it, I realized it just started looking a lot more cleaner and more professional. Oh, let's look at like Ashley Hughes. She's a good example. See, with hers, she has a lot of white space and it's so pretty. So for Ashley, it looks gorgeous. So whatever you choose to do, whether it's to have everything be all just the squares or to have a border or to have like the white space on the sides or circles, make sure it's all the same. Okay, so your Instagram is your portfolio. Think of your Instagram as like this is a bad example, but think of your Instagram as like a job resume. Think of it exactly like a portfolio, especially if you were a photographer or if you were trying to have somebody hire you to run like a social media account. You just want them to see your best photos. You don't want them to see the ones that you don't really like. You don't want them to see you don't want them to see everything. You just want to keep your best photos. So you definitely want to go back and delete pictures frequently. So I've been kind of doing that. And I really like all of the pictures that I have right now, minus like the giveaway one that's going to be deleted in a few days. So I'm going to scroll until I find one that I don't want. Like this one has a white border, but I really like the picture. So I don't know if I still have that picture on my phone. So just in case, I'm going to screenshot it and then I'm going to delete it, because then I can go back and post it again. But it's going to make my profile look more pretty, I guess. This one's probably not my best picture. It's just a quote, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And what I want to really reiterate with this is don't be afraid to delete a lot of pictures. One of the bloggers that I read this tutorial stuff from said that she had 1,300 pictures in her Instagram and she deleted 1,000 of them. She just kept the 300 best pictures that she had. And by doing that, her Instagram looked very vivid and beautiful, and it looked very professional with just her best pictures. So do that with your Instagram and see how big of a difference it makes. And especially if like you're liking and commenting and following these new people and forming relationships with them, they're going to go to your profile and see amazing pictures and they're going to want to follow you because it's beautiful. So, and typically, John Eric, I have like my mascara up here. It's funny. My eyelashes are so long, I always have a big mess. Typically, your Instagram photo has a lifetime of about 6 hours before it gets lost in people's news feeds. But I usually will wait at least a day or two before I go back and delete pictures. And let's see. The next tip I want to share, private versus public. I was reading an article on the 9 ways people lose followers without even realizing it, and the very number one thing they talked about was people that are private on Instagram lose so many followers. And I'll explain why. Usually if somebody requests to follow you on Instagram, they know they're going to have to wait at least an hour, maybe a day or two before they're going to even be able to see your posts. So what if you followed them or liked something on their page or commented on something on their page, but then you're private and they think, I don't want to wait, so I'm just not going to follow them. Or sometimes they think, what is she trying to hide? And once again, your profile, and this is for growing your business. I want you to understand, like, obviously this has some personal things in it. It's going to have like you, your life, whatever. But if you are working your Instagram to grow your business or to grow your brand, to grow yourself, to build relationships, to network, then you want to be public because it's going to open that many more doors. And then obviously hashtags don't work unless you're public. So, and this was an article that I read that people have said, like, you lose followers when you're private. And obviously, like, you want to monitor who's following you, make sure you're not having random people follow your followers, whatever. But I hope that makes sense. I have my profiles public and I love it. I have so many random people that are able, I've had people that'll text me and say, hey, you just barely followed me on Instagram and I saw that you sell wraps and I really want to try them. So if you're private, you miss out on that. If people are reporting your page, it probably looks like an advertisement. It looks like spam. So work on the very first tip I gave. Work on posting candid, intimate moments instead of prefabricated promotional shots. If it looks like, I mean, just think about it. If what you're going to post, do you think you would report it if you weren't a distributor? Think about it that way. Okay, here's the next tip. Don't post the same things over and over and over again. But if there's a picture that you really want to use again, screenshot it and delete it, and then you can reuse it later. So in this article that I was reading, they really talked about how too much of a good thing is too much. Like my selfies, all of my same pose selfies all in a row, too much is too much. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete a few of those to make it look more pretty. And then right now, videos are trending, so make sure you post videos. Any little things, say something, whatever. Videos are popular right now, and you'll get a lot more interaction on videos. And one of the biggest tips I have is that you want to set goals with your Instagram. If you don't set goals, nothing's going to happen. You're going to stay with the same followers. You're going to stay with the same amount of friends. And if you set goals, you're more likely to achieve them. So maybe you've just started Instagram, and let's make it your goal that maybe you're going to get 10,000 followers by the end of the year. And then you've got to put that to action and like and comment and be friendly and form relationships with people, and you'll get there. And one thing that two more tips, and then I'll take a few questions. So the first tip is a good way to branch out and build relationships and get more followers and to expand your influence with people is to find somebody that has a similar Instagram, like maybe somebody that has the same type of theme as you do. So maybe if your theme is going to be something bright and colorful, or maybe something with a lot of black and white with a little touch of green or something, I don't know. Whatever you want to do, you can find somebody that has a similar number of followers. Obviously, you don't want it to be another distributor, but somebody that has a similar number of followers within 1,000, and ask if they want to do a follow Friday with you. And basically what that means is you'll message them and you'll just ask if you each want to share a picture from the other's profile and just like shout them out. And it could be something simple, like say I did a follow Friday with one of my blogger friends that has like a cute outfit. I could post a picture saying like, hey everyone, go follow my friend so-and-so. She has the cutest outfits. You're going to love her. And then post a picture from her Instagram. And then all of my followers are going to see that, and probably, hopefully they'll go follow her. And then she's going to do the same for me, and then her followers will follow me. So that's a really easy way to make new friends and to find other people that have similar interests with you. And then the next one, this is an awesome tip, and I plan on using it so much, is to pin your Instagram photo. So what you need to do, I don't know how to do it any other way, is you're going to search for yourself, like through, I just do it on my phone, but I just went to instagram.com/ and then my username, and it pulled it up. So this is my Instagram, and then I'm going to find a picture that I want to pin. So maybe for one, I'm just going to do my outfit. I'm going to pin my church outfit that I wore today. With this picture, I'm going to simply copy the URL. Can't do it upside down, sorry. So I copied the URL, and then I'm going to go to Pinterest. And if it loads, let's see, this is way different than it used to be. Let me figure out, there's the ad pin. So then I'm going to pin from my clipboard. Let's see if that works. And then it went ahead and pulled up my Instagram with the picture. And then I can click on my photo and I can pin it. And then what that does is it links straight to my, this is pinned on my Instagram account, and it links straight to my, or this is on my Pinterest account, and it links straight to my Instagram. And so then anybody that is on my Pinterest and sees this picture, maybe they're interested in figuring out where I got my shoes or something. If they click on the picture on Pinterest, I'll show you what happens. Let me, okay, so here's my pin. Say somebody sees this and they're interested, they would click on the picture and it's going to take them to my Instagram, and then they can click follow. Isn't that awesome? All right, so to do that, you're going to search for yourself. I just used my web browser on my phone, so Safari. I went to like instagram.com / my username, and then I picked a picture and I copied the link. So say I wanted this one, and I then copy this link. Shoot. Can I not select all? Sorry, technical difficulties. I can't freaking work my finger. I'm stupid. There we go, select all. So then I click copy. And then you would go to Pinterest. And then you'd click to add a pin. And then you do from clipboard. And then it will pull it up, and then you can pin that picture. So, and then it'll automatically link it to your Instagram. Obviously, I don't do that like a ton, but it's a really good way if you want a few people to see your post that way. Yeah, those are my last 2 tips that I have. This is just the random things that I learned today. A lot of this stuff I haven't really paid attention to or done a lot of yet, so I'm excited to start applying these things myself. But yeah, hopefully you liked learning these things, because I thought it was really interesting and fun. Crowdfire is a good one. I don't know, there's a ton. Insta-follow, followers plus, there's a ton. Just look it up. Instatrack. Don't be afraid to delete a lot of pictures. Once again, I had a friend that went from 1,300 pictures to 300. She deleted 1,000 pictures. So go through and delete the bad ones and just keep the very best pictures. If you look at your picture and you think, wow, that's a really awesome picture, keep it. But if it's not that great, then don't. So I saw one question about deleting before and after pictures. I usually keep 1 or 2 every so often. So, I mean, like, let's just scroll through my Instagram feed. You don't see any before and after pictures. And then all of a sudden, bam, there's a really good one. And then you keep scrolling. All of a sudden, bam, there's another good one. You keep scrolling, and then all of a sudden there's something like that. I don't have a ton that's visible. I can still post a ton, but then I'm going to go after about 6 hours, and I'm going to go delete it because people don't see it after that. Okay, any other questions? I'm going to take like 1 or 2 more. The video's already on YouTube about going diamond. Oh man, there's so many questions. Clean up, photo out. I use PicTup-Go, I already talked about that. I don't use Pinterest a ton. It's kind of time consuming, but if you have a few followers on Pinterest, it's worth a shot. Yeah, I'll probably stick this on YouTube. I don't message people that like my pictures. I just wait for people to contact me. Everybody's different. If you don't have people contacting you consistently, then message people. Do not follow a ratio. Just post when you feel like you need to post another before and after picture. Post a lifestyle picture if you feel like it, whatever. Stop being strategic and just start being thoughtful. Remember, candid, intimate moments are better than prefabricated promotional shots. I don't ask people to take my pictures that often. We have a selfie stick, and then I'm really good at photography, so I can stick my cell phone on a tripod and take a picture myself if I really need to, and I've done that before. And once again, if you struggle with maybe taking pictures or figuring out how to do lighting or make your pictures look good, then start watching like training videos or start watching, look up tutorials on how to take pictures or how to edit pictures for Instagram. There's so many resources out there available for you. And seriously, like even looking on Pinterest, I found so many Instagram business growing tips. Like that's where I just got all of my information was Instagram or from Pinterest. So, I mean, there's so many amazing resources out there for you. You've just got to utilize your time to find them. Quit watching dumb videos on Facebook that aren't making you any money. They're just wasting your time. And maybe go find some YouTube videos that are actually going to help you grow your business. Same thing with Pinterest. Don't just pin random things. Find something that's going to help you build your business. Hopefully this is helpful for you. Quit scrolling Facebook and start utilizing these things. I know that's a big time waster for a lot of people. But I really feel like a lot of these tips, these are like blogger type tips. And I feel like vloggers always have a lot of followers. So I'm hoping that you love these and use these to your advantage because they are seriously, like I'm so excited to start using these and especially teaching my team them. So hopefully you learned a lot because I for sure did. And then just remember too, this is just a bonus tip, not even about Instagram, but in the movie Tarzan, in one of the songs, it says, "In learning you will teach, and in teaching you will learn." So if there's something about this business that you really want to just understand better or really learn, try teaching it to somebody or take some notes and try teaching your team or like a sideline sister what you just learned, and you're going to know it better and you're going to be able to apply it better. So that's kind of one of the reasons I love doing Periscopes or training my team is because when I'm teaching you guys how to work Instagram better, or when I'm teaching you guys how to sign up distributors, it's helping me too. So make sure you utilize that and you use that to your advantage. I've honestly never taken the color personality test, but I like to think that I'm a red-green, but I've never taken it. So it's getting late. It's 11:30. So I will talk to you later, guys. Have a good night.